This is a demonstration of the terminal within Linux. John highlighted for us Kali Linux, which is a Debian-based operating system. These commands can be used in many different variants of Linux, and they're not unique to Kali, but they will help you navigate Kali from the command line. The first command we want to go over is make dir, or mkdir. Stands for making a directory. This allows for us to create a folder, if you're from the Windows world, to put our files into. What you should know when it is in Linux, those folders are called directories. So we're creating a directory here with mkdir foo. Now that we have created our directory, if we needed to put files into it or wanted to see what files were there, we would first have to move or navigate to that directory through the change directory command. CD stands for change directory. So now that we've changed into this directory, we've talked about, and John talked about how Linux is hierarchical. What we want to do is understand as you navigate through the terminal and you go deeper into the hierarchical structure of Linux, using print working directory to know where you are is what is going to help you know where you're at. So pwd tells us where we currently are located. Now, if we wanted to leave this current directory and we wanted to go above our current directory, we would use cd ... This effectively places us back where we started. As you can see through the prompt changed. If we print working directory again, we see we're no longer located in foo. Next, we want to talk about how to determine disk utilization, or ultimately knowing how much disk space you have on your operating system. That is as simply as using df-h. This can come in handy, especially on Linux, where there are many different tools. You have a lot of different files, and especially when you use virtualization, you might create a disk smaller than you need. As you can see, our disk size here on this virtual machine is about 35 gigabytes. It's not standard for what you'd find on a typical desktop or laptop, but it's enough for what we need to do. So we can see the size, we can see how much is used, what is available, and then ultimately a percentage. And then on John's presentation as well, you should be able to recognize where or how much space is located for the root. So moving on, we have the ifconfig and IPA commands. Ifconfig and IPA simply tell us about our IP address. This discloses information about our private IP. What the difference is and why one might prefer IPA over ifconfig is IPA gives us the state and additional details about our interface, our networking interface. So that's why many people prefer to use IPA over ifconfig. Something also related to networking in Linux is the ping command. Ping allows for us to send ICMP traffic to a local desktop or a local workstation, but as well allows for you to communicate and send ICMP of, hey, are you up? Can I communicate with you? To an address that is also on the public internet. For this demonstration, we're just going to go ahead and ping my default gateway here within the lab. And so, as you can see, the default gateway is returning, or my gateway is returning traffic back to me. Now, if I wanted to furthermore see if there were any devices in between myself and that local address, I can use Traceroute. Traceroute will tell you how many hops are between you and the host that you're trying to communicate with. So in this example, we'll go ahead and hit the gateway again. Because it's my local network and I'm not traversing over any additional routers or other devices on the public internet, it's just going to say that it's one hop. So that is done in that way. One thing we should mention, which we will go over in the future, is man pages. Man pages stand for manual. So if you wanted to, say, add some options to ping, you could say man ping, and it will tell you all the different options that are available to you. One that is specific to us, and we'll demonstrate here for you real quick, is the -C option. Ping -C, if we give it an option of 3, with that local IP address again, now instead of sending multiple pings like we had above that we had to terminate on our own, we send 3 and ping ultimately terminates itself. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this was helpful.